Hey, Marcus.
Whoa.
No, I was just saying it was a great jacket. That's all I was saying. Okay. Like, don't take things personally. You've read the 4 agreements before. Hey, Marcus, so Dan likes the San Francisco 49ers over your Cowboys. The floor is yours.
He knows it.
Oh, God.
I have to project here. Because right now, the San Francisco 49ers do look better. So I have to project. And this is why I disagree. Because I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys offense will continue to look like they've looked. I think this rut may be coming to an end this Sunday, to be honest with you all. And when I look at the San Francisco 49ers, and I think about look, Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams, those guys are elite. Like that they are better than most threes on any other team in the NFL. So that don't do anything for me. It all points back to that guy that's pulling the trigger. And I'm taking Dak Prescott 6 days a week and twice on Sunday before I take Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care that Jimmy Garoppolo got a nice little streak going. I don't care that all of that stuff. Kyle Shanahan been a better play caller than most offensive coordinators in the NFL for a long time. The Dallas Cowboys offense is about to hit their stride. Put it down, First Take Market today, December 23rd. The Dallas Cowboys offense is about to get back to looking like they looked the first 7 weeks of the season. And I'm taking that offense every day before I take the San Francisco 49ers because of the weapons on the outside, the CeeDee Lambs, the Amari Coopers, the Michael Gallup, the Zeke Elliott, the Tony Pollard, and more importantly, number 4, Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain, and Tyron Smith coming back off of injury. The Dallas Cowboys offense will be better going forward than the San Francisco 49ers. Bank it. Put it down. I'll put the house on it.
How about we put $10 on it instead of your home? Because I can't afford your home.
Right now.
All right, $10.
Last year we did 100 on Baker. Let's do 100 right now.
Bet that the 49ers offense will perform better from this weekend's game moving forward, whether it's into the playoffs or not. Bet, $100 bet that the 49ers, and we're talking about points scored, okay, just by your offense. Because you ain't getting the points scored by the Cowboys defense, okay? I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that I'll give you Dak over Jimmy Garoppolo. You know where I stand on Jimmy Garoppolo, okay? Like, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is good. He makes way too many or situationally too many boneheaded plays where I'm like, why would you make that throw? But he is hot to your point, but I'll give you Dak. I don't understand how you sit here and go, well, I think that they're going to hit their stride. Like, what makes you think they're going to hit their stride? What's going to, all of a sudden, they're going to turn back the hands of time and Zeke's knee is going to get better, or they're going to start pulling people in the run game? Like, what makes you think that?
The truth is, we have a lot of evidence on missed opportunities, all right? We focus a lot on what the Dallas Cowboys have done in the last, 5 or 6 games or whatever.
They got 15 touchdowns in their last 85 drives.
Okay. Why do you think I'm saying going forward that this offense, this the one I'm taking before I take San Francisco? This is my thing when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. The first 7 weeks of the season, the Dallas Cowboys offense hit heights that San Francisco ain't hit none this year. They haven't, there were performances by this offense from the Dallas Cowboys that we have not seen the San Francisco, even in this run that the 49ers are having, that we haven't seen them play as high of a level as that offense. And I get it. Dallas has not looked great. They have a 30-point performance squeezed in there against the Las Vegas Raiders when Dak actually played well and took his team down the field, which should have been a win, but Anthony Brown wanted to have pass interference all day long in that game against the Raiders, and it was fine. No shade to Anthony Brown, but that was the narrative of that night. Okay, so I believe this. I look at the New York Giants last week. CeeDee Lamb had 3 drops. How different would Dak numbers look if CeeDee Lamb catches the ball on those three drops? We talk about Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, and his ability to be creative. Maybe he forgot, Dan, but I refuse to believe that he can go back and look at previously how he called games and how they had success and not tap back into some of that. And I get it. Look, accuse me. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan.
No doubt.
But the bottom line
No
is
doubt.
if this offense is going to stay the way that we've seen them the last 3 or 4 weeks, we can stop talking about them being anything in the NFC or anything in the playoffs. I don't believe that narrative is going to continue, and I think it stops this week. I think we see an explosive performance from the Dallas Cowboys.
See, this is where I push back when you make the comment that the Cowboys offense has reached heights that the 49ers can't. The Cowboys do not have a human being on their offense that is going to lead the NFL.
I didn't say can't. I said we've seen the Cowboys offense hit heights that San Fran has not. Even in their good performances, I don't think they've had as impressive offensive outputs as Dallas had when we started looking at the first 7 weeks of that season. Go ahead.
The 49ers, Deebo Samuel leads the NFL in yards per carry and yards per catch. The Cowboys do not have that guy. Jimmy Garoppolo, for everything I again, have reservations about, leads the NFL in yards per attempt and yards per completion. Those are two things that Dallas, with their tailback or wide receiver or quarterback, does not have. George Kittle, since he's come back and been healthy, is third in the NFL in receiving. I'm not talking about tight ends. I'm talking about receiving. So, those guys are doing things that Dallas, I would say, can't.
Dio, let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. Outside of George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, if I said, Dan Orlovsky, you're an offensive coordinator, I'm going to give you Dallas offense, and I'm going to give you San Fran. Which one are you taking?
I'm the offensive coordinator, or can I bring Kyle Shanahan with me?
You are the OC, and you got to pick between both of these offenses.
Gosh, this is a good question. I think just on paper talent, if Tyron Smith is healthy, I will take Dallas. Yeah.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.